And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is rather cold, rather cold, wet day at Spa-Francorchamps. About to get underway. Like Jono is going to be out there. Obviously, everybody on Intersport have very, very limited sets for this 100% race. We're on board with Jono right now. Track's reasonably wet. About half the field out and a little bit of a slide there from Jono. Toward Puon at the bottom. Filling out the conditions right now. People are going to have to be a little careful. Losing it in the dry is one thing. Losing it in the wet, well, that's a completely different. The bus stop. Battery switched on, about to start the lap. Lot of wheel spin. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think somebody spun out. John has a little bit of a snap through Eau Rouge. Very slippery. Just already wanting to let go. Through Brussels. Almost loses it at no name. Have to watch those curbs as well. They're going to be really slippery. There we go. Got the hard part of the lap done. Francorchamps is just absolutely flat. A lot of time to be lost and gained down at the bus stop here. Seems to cooperate. ETD has set a 54 and Jono quite easily eclipsing that with a 53.4. 5, so 0.1. Track rather busy. KB is done a 53.8. And Dan Marquez has bailed out of his lap. Just approaching Blanchimont now. Posty and Tiglio rather have 5 and a 56 respectively. Sammy has done a 53.3 to take pole. Dark's lap was invalid, so he lap. Hunter's bailed out of his lap. I'm about to come through and start his though. Bail out of his lap and is in the pits. I can put this Alpine in the car really sliding through a rouge. Big snap for combine there. Russell's down toward No Name. Almost leaves the track completely. Goes to show how slippery those curbs are. Poo-poo on. Right on the anchors for the bus stop. He'll come across the line. Only go up to 7th with a 55 flat. And so Jono has now responded and has done. On a hot lap. Little bit of a snap at the exit of the bus. Oh. Yeah. Elba coming through. Approaching the bus stop. Can he improve on his time? Hope he's even bailed out of it. Dark, rather, is hurry of Sammy. hope he's going into the pits. Just scraped the underfloor there. About halfway through. Yep, he's bailed out. He definitely hit the underfloor there. Unfortunate. Reset. And fire up again. Laps. Dan Marquez. Well, he's still yet to put a lap in. Oh, and he's lost it at Lacombe. That has also potentially ruined those tyres as well. Rather unfortunately, because that'll... I mean, he might chance it, stay out and get a bank lap in, but tyres could be pretty dead. Does, as they've got quite a few cars on out laps. Five minutes left in the session, and given it takes about 2 minutes roughly to do a lap around here in the wet, we'll have to start leaving the pits rather shortly. Piglio is on a hot out on fresh inters. Just on the run to Paul Pierre now. Blanchimont a little offline. P4 was his previous fastest lap, and he'll go up to P4 with a 53.3 in the wet. That is good enough time to just dislodge KB. Kohler also looking to improve his 5. Little wobbly through Paul Pierre. Training the battery on the run to Blanchimont. And he'll go straight to provisional pole with a 51 flat, and that is the fastest time of the session. Completely eclipsed Jono. And the track maybe just getting a little bit faster. People are going to have to start leaving the pits now, or they will not get around in time. And yep, mad amount of cars, and they're basically going to have to do a qualifying lap just to get around in time. See if they make it. Hey, it's KB, Jono, and Katana all in line, and looks like KB yielding to get the toe, and that's a pretty smart move. Sammy Dodge entering late and has put in a 158, so I think the track is genuinely getting quicker. Question is, can these guys actually get around in time? They've still got to go. They're at Puon now. They've still got to get through the S's, get through Pool and the bus stop. They are running out of time. So 20 seconds they've got. I think Jono and Katana will be okay. Big question is going to be on KB. All 2 seconds left in the session. He just got across the line. Jono first. We'll see what he can do. Every millimeter of road. I think the combine has pipped Jono just legitimately getting quicker. He's pulling off the track. Sammy up to provisional pole. And what can Jono do? And Jono's now provisional pole. Anna not quick enough, and KB only up to 6, so only Shark left, and Shark's in the pits. So that is it. So Jono's going to be on pole alongside Sammy. Nelsie's going to be alongside Katana on row 2 with a KB on row 3, Toast and Combine on row 4. and Tiglio on row 5, full, all by his lonesome on row. Big thing here is actually going to be the limit 44 lap race. Going to take around 88-90 minutes. Factor in pit stops, of course. Depending on how hard they push the tyres, this could be a 2 or 3 race, and safety cars may even change that a bit. Race. Go, 5 red lights coming to life at this wet Spa race. And we're away racing. They storm down to turn 1. John has been absolutely swamped, and there's contact with the Williams of MJ. So both cars getting damaged. Oh, and I think someone's... Yeah, 3 cars involved, and it's Newell, Tiglio, and Toasty there. And Toasty's got a 10-second time penalty. And there's debris, and cars are all over the shop there. Looks like MJ's made a move on Katana in the meanwhile as well. Meanwhile, Sammy leads. As Jono and McJammy are sliding in unison behind him. And there is an awful amount of spray. We can not really illustrated that well here, but there was a fair amount of spray coming off the back through Puon. Going to be interesting to see how many cars actually enter the pits at the end of the lap as well. 3. Now I think they've just been one of the back markers. Especially with that 10-second time penalty, it would make sense. And yep. So Tiglio is in. and Toasty coming in as well. And if he can serve this penalty here to get a safety car, we'll see if he can serve the penalty here. Yep. Penalty is being served. He's going to come out a long way back. Meanwhile, back at the top end of town, and Sammy getting a little out of shape coming through No Name, and John is right over the back of him. A little bit of a look through Puon. Toasty's going to need to get out of the pits rather shortly to avoid going a lap down. Is out now, so what he really needs to get back in this is a safety car. Still early days yet. It's just in a bit of no man's land, and back to this battle group of 5th, 6th, 7th. ETD just on the back of it, but combined really giving MJ a bit of what for. And MJ's actually got a bit of damage to the front wing. Just done the fastest lap. Looks like Jono tried to have a crack at Sammy, and Jamie tried to have a crack at Jono, but it looks like it's been side by side in the wet through Eau Rouge. It's a bad place to try and overtake Mousy. Look at the amount of spray coming off of the back of these cars. Come through Brussels, and Jono on maximum defend, but he can force Bielsi a bit wide here. Really twitchy. And Toasty has retired, and honestly, I think that's a bit. I think that's a bit preemptive. I mean, you know, it wasn't the greatest start, but anything can happen in racing. At least he's just genuinely had a crash, which would be disappointing. But no safety car, so I don't think that's it. Down to 12 cars remaining in this race now. Only lap 3. Meanwhile, at the top end of town, there is a cracker battle going on between the two Ferraris and Jono. Dan Marquez in the pits. Is this a scheduled damage? And Katana now with the 3-second time penalty. And oh no, Dan Marquez has retired from the session. About a half second behind Sammy. There's about a second that separate the top 3. 6 seconds back to Katana. He has got that penalty looming large, which will drop him a fair few spots, in fact, if things were to stay as they are. Oh, big off at Puon as well, just as we cut to him. Jay Roll is still with the damaged wing, so he's under siege a bit from combined. And KB is getting into the mix a bit. KB also with ETD and Shark. Could turn this two-car group into a 5-car group. Now the fastest lap of the race. Really pushing on the back of Sammy at the moment. Now within 3/10 of Sammy, so look for him to have a bit of a crack here. Sammy weaving just to try and break the toe a little bit. Right on the back of him now, I think he'll be able to have a look going down into the bus stop. Stay within about 2/10 of Sammy and then basically just faint Sammy out going into the bus stop. He only has to get on the brakes a fraction later. They're starting to create a bit of a gap to Nielzy, McJammy Dodge. Got yellows in sector 3. I wonder what's going on. Oh, and it's Shark having a bit of a spin. And John has done fastest lap again, and it's a 56 flat. That's going to give KB a bit of relief in the front. Jono, in the meantime, has gone to the lead race. It's going to be interesting to see how the boys fare without the DRS. Now, basically, as you were at the start. Jono in the wet, starting to create a bit of a gap. Our race leader for a lap to get the feel of what these cars are actually like around this track while it's wet. Jamie dodged now with the fast race, and he has in fact actually gone past his teammate. So you never count him out, but it is very hard to overtake here in the rain. Especially with how quickly Jono is extending the gap. Of course, with McJammy out of the tow now as well. While with back with this battle group, and it looks like KB is be wary of the combiners all over the back of him as well. And Newell also places. Maybe gaining just a little bit of ground on him. That'll be the front wing of MJ's car. So he'll want to get into the pits as KB gets a little and combines in. How this pit stop is. Now I'm going to replace the front wing, so it's going to be a little delayed. I believe the combiner is going to come out on the rubber. Just in front of Shark, but he'll need to get his tires up to temperature. So Jono has basically pulled away into the distance. I mean, anything can happen during the pit stops, but an ETD given a 3-second time penalty. Curb hopping, so another victim of the curbs here at Spa. KB has brought it down to 0.6 of a second. MJ, so he's slowly chipping away, and MJ has a big slide out of Paul Fier. Were I in MJ's position, I would probably faint the pits. Very interesting to see who opts to take a pit stop and who opts to look after the tyres. That is another factor. Wet race, there's no mandatory pit stop here either. Dark now has a penalty as well. Combine and quickly go. I reckon those two are going to have to come in again, though. To be fair, I do believe that everybody's probably going to have to. I believe the two-stop will be quicker. Dark is now in the pits. He's going to go into some fresh rubber. That does give the potential for these guys on the fresh rubber to start catching up, and that'll mean everybody ahead of them is going to start thinking about it. So a little bit of time to MJ. Oh, and Shark's out of the race. And safety car, safety car, safety car. So we are very, very probably. And yep, Sammy straight in. Now, the question is, did Jono... Oh, okay, this is really going to hurt Jono and Meowsy, because they've been caught out by not actually being able to go in. And KB, oh no, has got a 10-second time penalty. And he'll not be able to serve that under the safety car either. Flurry of action down in the pits. So looks like Jono, McJammy, and ETD. All those boys have not gone into the pits. Now with Jono and McJammy though, they were already past the pit entrance when the safety car was released. So Jono, you can't do that, mate. You can't pull alongside the safety car. Is in essence going to neutralize. Now, I wonder if KB's going to try and take the pain out. But I think he wasn't able to do it because it was... other. Oh, John opting to stay out, and I honestly think that's a bit of a mistake. Because, yeah, there's going to be traffic to deal with, but McJammy is going to have fresh rubber. I think John probably should have gone in. Unless he's planning to just look after the tyres and to no stop the race. But, I mean, be a hard one. That'll be a hard one here with the safety car. And it looks like Tiglio's got on a 3-second time penalty. John's probably counting on another safety. And safety car is in this lap. The field has bunched back up. So, have control. Go. Thundering down to turn 1 once again, and the lights are green. The race is back on. Big thing that John has got to worry about is that Sammy's going to really be able to attack him now, because Sammy's on those fresh tyres. KB's gone past ETD, who's had a moment. Fuel also taking advantage down the Kemmel Straight, and McJammy trying to go with. This is where it's going to get a bit spicy. You got about 6 cars all in a group together. So there is starting to be a little bit of breakaway. File back at the top end of town. Going past an ETD's got a time penalty now as well. Sammy is on those fresher tyres. And half the field is right up at the top end of town, so basically anybody who finishes this race is going to score. Dean. Find also getting past Newell. KB having a crack at MJ. Is managing to hold Sammy off quite effectively at the moment. Being now within half second of MJ, so starting to get spicy because they're also both catching up, and MJ's made a mistake going into the bus stop. Jamming out the fastest lap as he tried to slide on past KB, but KB's going to get the better run out of the turn. And they're going to go side by side down toward Eau Rouge, and it's resolved in favour of KB. Battery's also going to play a factor here. How much have they left? Outside at Lacombe. Oh, and there's contact there. Kind of saw it coming. He tried to squeeze him, and maybe it was a bit too much. Right over the back of MJ now, and KB's got a 3-second time penalty. Go popping, and I think there's damage to that car. Now MJ and Sammy now at the fast lap is actually going to pass John, and this is what I was saying about John not coming into the pits. Fresh rubber would definitely have helped, even if he had to take a little bit of pain in the short term. MJ did come in, so this is be interesting to see how him and McJammy solve this. Sammy's going to try and go all the way around the outside. Trying to fight back through to Brussels. Sammy a little compromise through Brussels. Back at the top end of town, I believe car battle because Sammy now has some clear air. Anna now starting to close up on Jono just a bit. Now that looks like Sammy with a curb hopping. That's going to effectively get the race back, and McJam dodges all over the back. Icy will stay on board with McJam if he can get the move done. So it's quite a clean move, and now he's going to hunt down Jono. back at the top end of town, speaking of, about 6/10 away, still has not gone into the pits yet. Anna now with a 3-second time penalty, so a lot of penalties being handed out. People starting to exceed the track limits just a bit and it's starting to neutralise. Now Jono's starting to get all over the back of Sammy, so legs a bit high. I think Jono's actually really looked after the tyres. Sammy going very defensive. Break that toe. And Katana's out of the race. Katana's out of the race. We could see another safety car. And this will get Jono out of jail. So no safety car, no BSC, so Jono might still be in a bit of trouble, but the pit window's open for the one-stop strat now, so it'll be interesting to see what it does. And Jono just starting to lose touch with Sammy. It's almost out to a second now, but he's meant to hold the pace to McJammy, who's about at 1.7 seconds, almost behind. KB's 8 seconds down the road from. So this is still anybody's race. We could very easily see another car. Looks like Jono's tyres a bit worse for wear now, about 55% on the rear tyres. He's going to have to come in shortly, and he's going to take a lot of pain. It's probably going to move him down to about 8th place. Has lost the place to McJammy now, so it's going to be Ferrari versus Ferrari. I think John is going to have to come into the pits, and he has. He's taking the pain now, but he'll have the fresher tyres, so these two might have to stop again. Oh, and a big slide there from Sammy. But in KB's in this battle group with the bind. And Sammy into the pits now, so oh, I think there's trouble with Jono. He might have had a disconnect. Sammy's gone into the pits, so this will be his second final. KB's going to go by whilst he's in the pits, but KB's probably going to need to pit again himself. And Combine's got a penalty, and we've got yellow flags in Sector 1. This could cause a safety car, potentially, depending on what's happened. And it looks like John and he's got going again. Jamming leads, it's a 15-second lead. But if KB can nurse these heights to the end, he could still win the race. Sammy tearing through the field. He's right on the back of KB now. That basically neutralizes the pit stop. So KB's going to have a lot of work to do. He might want to think about pitting and getting a... Wheel to wheel, Sammy and KB now. Sammy's got the fresher tyres, and they are drag racing down the straight. And Newell with the 3-second time penalty. And KB is going to get to the apex first, and he's going to be able to drive off that corner down toward Eau Rouge. And this 3-car battle's just turned into a 4-car battle. Actually, it's going to be a 5-car battle very shortly because they're catching the jammy. KB really pouring on the pace. Like Newell's gone into the pit, so he's done his second stop. So looks like a bit of mixed strategies at the moment. We'll see what works out. I think Jamie Dodge now with the fast laps 52.9, so it looks like the track is starting to get a little bit drier, a little bit faster. As we're saying with this three-car group with KB, MJ, and and combine on the freshest tyres of the three, but not really able to put them to good use. He's trying to have a crack at MJ, but just the dirty air from KB probably affecting that attack. And a big slide coming into Radion from KB, and it looks like Combine's going to have a crack down the Kemmel straight. Almost had the job done on the inside going into Lacombe. Oh, we got yellow flags in Sector 2 and Sector 3. Something's gone on. Not able to find out what exactly has happened, but trouble. And looks like Tiglio going into the pit, so potentially a stopper. So we'll see how that works out for him. I mean, he's got to try something, probably trying to steal the fast lap. A little too early for it though. Track is still dry, but he will probably have the freshest tyres. And so, and McJamie, the only two without penalties yet. Almost contact there. MJ almost going into the back of KB, and now vulnerable to combine. Looks like there's going to be a move for position here. And as they go through Brussels, and oh, MJ's lost it, and he's lost the position and his contact. But thankfully, no damage by the looks. Tyres now starting to get fairly badly worn. I think KB and combined size both up respectively at about 6. Here comes combined. Trying to have a crack. KB's side is really struggling. It looks like he's about to put a lap on his teammate as well. Jono just moves clean out of the way. Been a bit of a bad race for him. About to get really spicy now. These three are back together, and combined has the fresher tyres, and MJ taking the toe. So head down to T1. KB really defending, and a big slide out of La Source from KB. Fine is all over the back of KB. He's trying to find a gap. Probably going to get KB, I think, with 6 laps to go, that KB is going to try and get to the end of the race on the one stop. And MJ now with a penalty. So that is all but Jono and Jack now with penalties. So this race is going to come down to penalties. We're going to wait for this to normalise itself in about 6 laps time. looking at that tyre where they're going to be really struggling, but they have the road position again. So these guys in the last 4 laps of the race are going to be really, really struggling. Big slide there. That's going to have cost them, and that's what's happening with the tyres being so worn now. All in the pits. He's probably going to try and steal fastest lap, given how late we are in the race. And Newell's out of the race. Newell has retired. And now as McJammy's started the lap of the race, and it looks like MJ's got a puncture, and this is curtains for MJ. He's done. He's done. He couldn't get to the end. Now KB's tyres are about the same, so he's at risk as well. And McJammy's gone across the line. He will double points event here at Spa tonight. McJammy's probably going to be able to secure a six. Still at risk on the tyres, so can he nurse it? Not the time. He's got a 5-second lead over Combine. He's just got to nurse it. He punctures the tyre. It's curtains for him. Comes through Paul Fier. Guys are at 80. Really at risk here. Penalty's still going to be a factor, so he does kind of have to get on with it. He's so delicate at the moment. KV is about to get across the line. He's done the one stop as he's coming out of the final turn. That will BKB. He's got the 10-second unserved. So it looks like Combine will get time, and Combine will be on the podium because everybody else neutralized each other anyway. And after a very, very interesting race, Sammy in second, Combine in third on penalty. That will be us for another week. We will see you all next week for the next round of WSL.